Hello guys, my name is George. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss how you can accomplish the goals that you set in a way that actually works. So from personal experience, what I figured out was that the best way to actually approach achieving your goals is to change your mentality. This is what I learned from a couple of videos, because the things that you do, your actions come from your brain. Your brain, you yourself control your actions. That's how it should be. I talked about this in a former video. And the initial thought process that I had with this, which is something I learned from Hamza, was the way you can change your actions in order to achieve your goals is to change the way you view yourself. So basically, if you want to become a bodybuilder, you should think of yourself as a bodybuilder. Even if you weigh 30 kilograms, you should view yourself as a bodybuilder, because that way you're going to act like a bodybuilder. But the problem with this entire thing is I just didn't feel like it was good enough. In my own experience, I haven't felt changes, and I haven't felt like I've actually been achieving much recently. And it's weird because I've learned so much in the past few weeks, months, like so much information, but I'm yet to properly apply it and actually start noticing changes, which isn't technically a bad thing because changes happen after a while. You can't expect to see them instantly, because then everyone would be working hard and everyone would be learning things if it was immediate. So maybe now I will actually begin the process of working properly to see results. And the way I'm going to do that is through something I learned from Alex Hormozi. So if you don't know who he is, which you probably don't, he is this guy he's a businessman basically. And he had a pretty successful beginning. He owns initially he owned gyms, which makes sense because if you Google him, the guy is fucking jacked, bro. He's like a bodybuilder, even though he's worth hundreds of millions. So with him, at first he was very successful, he was making good money, but then he got scammed. He got completely fucked. And in 2 days, he went broke basically. He had $1,000 in his bank account. And he turned those $1,000 into tens of millions in a couple of years, thanks to the skills he had gathered over the years and his experience. So this guy is obviously a fucking goat, right? He's like a legend. Very wise man, very rich, very fucking strong and big. And so it's important for you to know this, because a lot of my future videos will be influenced by him, hands down. He's very fucking good. Also, my camera is very high up, so I'm moving my hands explaining things, but it's way down here, so it looks like I'm standing still, and that's weird as fuck. So what I learned from Alex Hormozi, which is probably the way I am going to personally approach achieving goals, is you shouldn't view yourself as a bodybuilder or a millionaire if you want to get big or if you want to get rich. You should just think to yourself, what would a millionaire do in this situation? I know it sounds very similar, but for me personally, I actually noticed certain differences in them. Because it's hard for me to view myself as like a millionaire when I'm broke. But it's not hard for me to think about, okay, what would a millionaire technically do in this situation? Like, how would they approach this problem? What would they be spending their time with? And obviously, I don't exactly know what a millionaire would do in this situation. I'm not a millionaire. But the good thing about this, which I realized, is you don't need to get it 100% correct. You just need to have like the basic idea of how the person you're idolizing would approach the situation. And that's good enough personally, because for me, I'm either gonna be watching YouTube shorts, watching anime, reading manga, playing video games, jerking off, or I'm gonna be thinking, okay, what would a millionaire do in this situation? And it would obviously be something productive. It would obviously have to do with learning. It would obviously have to do with taking action and improving in certain aspects, like acquiring new skills. So I just need to do what I think is correct, what I think a millionaire would do, and that would still achieve me far better results than just doing what I normally do, which is all of these lazy instant gratification things. And for me personally, I'm not gonna think, okay, what will a millionaire do? But I think I'm gonna choose a little bit of a different tactic, and I would phrase the question as, what would Alex Hermosi do? Or what would Hamza do in this situation? As it sounds weird to idolize those people, but for example, Hamza has a lot of things that I want to have other than money. Like, he's got a good physique, he's obviously he has very good mental health, he is uh, a good leader, he led a team for quite a while. He's a good businessman other than just being like a rich guy, because he makes a lot of money. But his physique as well, his looks, there's like a lot of things that I want to get from him. So being like, what would a millionaire do? It wouldn't always be enough, because, like, for example, if I'm at the gym, I wouldn't be thinking, okay, how would a millionaire do tricep push downs or whatever the fuck, you know? So that's what I'm getting at. And it would just be better for me, because instead of having these wonk plans that, okay, wake up 6 a.m., 6:05, sunlight viewing, wumps, 6:10, drink salted water, 6:15, meditate, I would just move with the flow and think, okay, what would Hamza do here? And it would always be something good. It would always be like, okay, maybe read a book, maybe do some push-ups, I don't know, things like that. Because I feel like I might get way too overwhelmed if I continue this plan your entire day thing, and it would just lead to less. It would lead to less results, because I will be less consistent, because I would get overwhelmed. But this way of thinking that Alex Hermosi suggested, which is just, again, what would X person do? I feel like it's sustainable throughout your entire life. You just pick a person to idolize, you pick a person to compare yourself to, and just try to do as much as they do. Try to copy as much of them. Which for me actually is kind of stupid, because Hamza does plan out his entire day. So I kind of need to plan out my days as well, because Hamza does it. It's like, what would Hamza do? He would plan his day. Fuck, man. But I will do it. I need to do it. I need to accomplish my goal at the end of the day, because it's very important to me. I also need to be a good man for my future wife in, I don't know, 10-15 years. Man, I just wanna live my whole town, Bolshevo, gold, just be fucking rich, but I don't want to own materialistic things. I wouldn't feel proper about flexing a 200,000 car in front of like 8-year-old grandmas in my village. I think like financial freedom, just being able to do whatever you want, is such a nice thing. Because if you're someone who has achieved it, if you're already rich, you doing whatever you want won't be like playing video games. You'll still be working and you'll be getting even richer. You'll just have like freedom. Um, you won't be stuck in a certain workplace with a certain shift regimen that you need to follow. So I think that's very powerful. I think we should all strive for that. Just us, like we ourselves being our own bosses and controlling everything in our lives, or controlling as much as possible, because this way you are more powerful. I honestly think money, actually, no, knowledge first, money second, are the most powerful assets you can have. And being a powerful man sounds cool, man. As being a powerful guy. Not only strong physically, but being able to change situations and being able to actually be an active player of the game of life, not being passive and reactive, but actually changing shit because you have the power to do so. Yeah, damn, that's kind of good. Bye bye, guys. Dop, dop, skibidi dop.